Most people think God only speaks through peace. But if you're headed for hell, God doesn't use peace, He bites. This is the rule number one of spiritual discernment. Before we start discerning, we must first identify the fundamental direction of our spiritual life. Are we moving away from God and towards serious sin? Or are we sincerely striving to overcome sin and grow closer to God? Take, for example, a gang member. As a member of a gang, your fundamental direction in life is towards serious sin. Your life is centered around drugs, violence, and crime. Whereas if you're a priest, your fundamental direction in life is to grow closer to God through prayer and acts of service. But note, we're speaking in general terms. Being a gang member is not a one-way ticket to hell. Likewise, being a priest does not guarantee your seat in heaven. How the world perceives you has nothing to do with what is stirring and moving inside of you. Rule number one of spiritual discernment is for those whose fundamental direction in life is towards serious sin. In persons who are going from mortal sin to mortal sin, the enemy is ordinarily accustomed to propose apparent pleasures to them, leading them to imagine sensual delights and pleasures in order to hold them more and make them grow in their vices and sins. In these persons, the good spirit uses a contrary method, stinging and biting their consciences through their rational power of moral judgment. Let's break this down. We will use the example of a gang member to demonstrate how the good spirit and the bad spirit work in someone who is walking towards serious sin and away from God. Imagine yourself as someone in a gang, and you and your crew are at the park hanging out. You see a pretty girl and you want to talk to her, so you decide to walk up to her and ask her for her number. She turns you down. The first emotion you feel is disappointment, then embarrassment because your crew is standing behind you, and then anger because you are not about to be disrespected in front of your crew and have them laughing at you. So you decide to take her by force. You drag her to the back and have your way with her. Then it's over. You go back to meet your friends and they still laugh. She told you no. I bet she never says no again. It's just a big joke to them, and the day continues as if nothing happened. You go home and you are replaying the events in your head. You just wanted her number, but now you've become that guy. You are now the guy who assaults women. The guilt and shame have kicked in. You start thinking about all the other shameful things you've done, what people have said about you, and now this. But that shame and that guilt is actually the Lord calling you. That is the action of the good spirit, calling you to turn around and walk towards me. Change your direction. God is truth, and we tend to only associate God and goodness with nice feelings. But God would not lie to you. You assaulted someone, and now you feel guilt and shame. That is good. That is the spark that leads to change. Instead, you should be wary of the friend who is trying to convince you to forget about it. I just saw some girls across the street. Let's go talk to them. That is the bad spirit, whose purpose is to keep you facing and walking towards hell. So what should you do to face heaven and walk towards God? Well, the best thing to do would be to turn yourself in. Leave the gang and ask for forgiveness. But is that realistic? Probably not. You can't just leave the gang. You'll be putting your life and your family's life in danger. You can't just go turn yourself in. That will cost you 10 years in jail. You just don't have the spiritual muscle to handle this kind of pressure. You've not built a relationship with God that can give you the grace to turn yourself in. And so for now, you're stuck. So what action can you take? In the previous video, we talked about the 3 steps of spiritual discernment: awareness, understanding, and taking action. Let's apply these to our scenario. When you were assaulting the girl, you felt like you were the king. No one dared to question you or even try to stop you. You were the boss, and it felt good. Now you are home alone and the guilt and shame have kicked in. You understand the high you felt while assaulting the girl means nothing, and you want to make amends. You want to move towards good, but you are not ready to sacrifice yourself. So what can you do? Say a prayer. Start with prayer. For example, you and your gang have plans to break into someone's home. You've been planning it for months, and you can't just not show up. So say a prayer as you're getting dressed and armored up. Say a prayer as you get into the car. Say a prayer while you are driving to the house. Say a prayer as you kick through the door. No one has to know you're praying. It's all happening internally. Lord, help me. Lord, protect the people in this home. Lord, I don't want to do this. Lord, forgive me. Lord, show me your face. Lord, show me a way out. And you have not turned around. You're still facing hell, but you've taken a step backwards. And in this scenario, taking a step backwards is for your ultimate good. So in people whose fundamental direction in life is towards serious sin, the bad spirit will entice you with immediate pleasure to keep you walking towards hell. And the good spirit will poke at your conscience and make you feel uncomfortable to push you to change.